The Porsche Sport Podcast, powered by Porsche Centre Leeds. Test drive the new Porsche Taycan and experience soul electrified.
Welcome to the Porsche Sport Podcast, live from the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Join Luke Holroyd as he meets the Porsche stars taking on the greatest race on earth.
So we're here at Le Mans, and he needs no introduction. You've been here quite a lot, but Mr. Patrick Dempsey. First of all, I wanted to ask you, the atmosphere seems to be like the old times, like when you was here. The fans are back, the sun's out, it seems really good.
Yeah, it is. I think the first time I came here was with Don Panos. Remember those days in 2005? And I remember walking down the front street going, God, I wish I could be here one day, and came back in 2009. So it's changed a lot. The dynamics have changed a lot, certainly with the manufacturers and LMP1 and all of that. But this is the first year since COVID where you start to feel the energy's back again, and the people are here, and the energy is here, and it's good. And the racing is really, look at the size of the field. It's great.
Obviously, Proton are running 5 cars, and your cars are here as well. And I just wanted to talk about the driver lineup. You've always given, I don't know how much say you have in it, but there's always the opportunity for the young guys coming through to have that drive, and they always seem to do really well. You look at Seb Priault today; he's doing fantastic.
Yeah, he did a great first stint. He's very nervous getting in the car, and I really love these guys. It's very moving. So it's hard for me to articulate because you feel for them so much. They're living a dream. And then when they do so well and then they come back, that was really, when I got out of the car and talked to Chris and I talked to Porsche, I was like, what can we do to really give these young drivers an opportunity to have the experience knowing it's a big risk? But then, we have a fun time, auditioning them or doing the gong show type of thing and letting them come through. And then they come back with us and then they go on. It's like you see Matt and Julie and all these guys that have gone on, and it's a real pleasure to see. And, I think with Chris's son, he's getting to the age now, I really would love to see him in the car next year so that they can at least have a year together. Father and son would be a beautiful thing. So we got to push for that for next year.
Yeah, for sure. I hope to see that. And I wanted to touch on, obviously, Michael Fassbender's in the paddock as well. And when you was racing, obviously Pat Long was with you. I've always seen similarities. He's obviously got Richie Leeds. You spoke to him about the kind of debut and how that would go.
Yeah, my time, at the very beginning, certainly I had a little bit more experience than Michael has, and I really have so much respect for him, what he's done in such a short period of time to be here at the deep end of the pool, and it's a lot to manage. You got a lot of eyes on you. He has incredible natural ability. If we can just get him enough seat time to develop, I think he's going to be really, really quick. He's doing a good job now managing everything. So it's really, what's wonderful about Porsche is how they develop the drivers, the sense of culture and support that you get. There's never any judgment. It's like, okay, what's the strength? What's the weakness? How do we improve upon that? How do we work together as a team to support it? And it's been some of the greatest experiences of my life with like Patrick Long and all of the factory drivers, and everybody in the paddock has been very supportive. And you want to pay that back. It's part of your job. And I think you see a lot of the drivers who are no longer in the car, they come back and they do that. And I learned a lot from them, and they set the example. And now it's my turn to be able to do that. So I wish Michael a lot of luck to finish out today. And he's going to be great. It's just a question of how you can balance your professional life. And if you're doing a movie, they won't let you race. And if they do, you got to pay a fortune to insure everything. And it's just a question of seat time and developing him. And he's got a great team around him with Richie. And Richie's here, and it's sort of an end of an era in many ways with this race, and then a beginning of a new one next year. So it's a lot of mixed emotions for everybody.
And last, I just want to touch on your role here on the weekend. Obviously, we saw you just before we started interviewing. You're still listening to the radio, checking that the guys are all right.
I try to support all of the drivers in any way I can. I understand what they're going through. I know where they're at. If they're doing a single and then that transition right before you're going into the second or your triple, what are they going to need when they get out of the car? And the young guys, just want to give them confidence and make them feel safe, and let them just remember the belief in themselves and to forget about this event. So that means a lot to me. I love it.
Does that mean you'll be here at 3 a.m. helping the guys when they get out of the car as well? Is it a full 24 hours for you? Will you get some sleep?
I hope to, yeah. Sometimes it's like it's better off just to go shower, but then I get superstitious if we're really running well. I don't want to leave anywhere, so I keep it all contained. And but at the same time, you want to be there for the crew as well, and they're working so hard, and they've had such a long week that you want to be here in the garage with them and just keep being a cheerleader and keep the energy up and keep them focused. If we're really far down and everybody's tired, then I'll go back and shower, get myself together, and then be strong for the rest of the morning. Because once the sun comes up, I mean, you still got a long way to go. I mean, this is such a brutal race, and we started an hour later today at 4 o'clock. Usually it's 3, so as soon as the sun comes up, you're like, oh man, we got a long way to go. It's strong right now. I think it's just a question of being consistent, not making any mistakes. Because as soon as you make a mistake, then the train goes by.
And you stay in that top 5, come sunrise, you should be there for a decent finish.
You know, you don't know until the last lap, right? Until you take the checkered flag. You see it with Toyota. I've seen it myself, where you're leading and you're doing well, and then something happens. So if you're down, you keep fighting to the very last lap, and if you're up, you just stay focused and head down and keep going. So.
Perfect. Well, good luck this weekend, and we'll hopefully catch up with you on the podium.
Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me on the show.
The Porsche Sport Podcast, powered by Porsche Centre Leeds. Test drive the new Porsche Taycan and experience soul electrified.